the culture of this stuff is like such a bummer. I was looking at some like Reddit posts on both like the sports betting Reddit and then like gambling problems Reddit. I can't remember the names of them or whatever. But there's just some like really upsetting, like, I know it's all anecdotal, but like really upsetting posts about young boys going to college, not having friends, turning to these things because they're listening to these, like, you know, it makes them feel cool. It makes them feel like they have something to do. And fucking like ruining their fucking lives. Like one guy talked about how he'd contacted all of these apps, FanDuel, DraftKings, you know, I don't know, the MGM one, whatever, all those guys to get himself banned. All of them, like no one, they did it.
Spot of that shit.
They're not, no, because there's no way. It's completely like faceless, all of this stuff. And they depend on these guys.
Well, I was reading this article in, I think it was like wired.co.uk from a while ago, talking about how online gambling apps, like I think it was online casino apps, which we haven't even really gotten into.
Yeah, it's a whole...
But like DraftKings has, I think they have a huge market share of actually casino games in general. Like they have on their app, like you can play like blackjack or roulette or something like that. And I'm sure like that's a huge other market that is... I mean, you can essentially transpose everything we're saying here to that, or almost everything we're saying here to that. But they were talking about how, you know, he filed a FOIA request to see what data they were collecting on him, and he was a gambling addict. And they identify people like him, and this is one of those things where like, duh, of course they're doing this. But like, he got documents that basically said they identified him and people like him to when they quit the app, they will send them like insane offers to keep them coming back, that they know essentially because of the data they can collect that he will click them and he will use them. And that's like, if you are a problem gambler who uses these apps, or even if you're someone who loses a bunch of money on these apps and you're not, like, maybe not necessarily addicted, but you're like somebody who like, I don't know, basically always loses or plays a lot in any sense. These people have identified you and they will go to the ends of the earth to retain you as a customer because you are the kind of customer who makes the money. The people who sign up, bet on one or two games, do not make the money. They do not give a fuck about them. They have identified them as people who are like, all right, they will basically like, that is a hard customer to acquire. We're not going to spend resources on that.
It sounds even wrong calling it a customer at that point.
Yeah. Well, you're paying them for a service, and that service is to have like a brief dopamine hit. It's more, I guess it's, I don't know what's apt, to call it.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's so predatory that it feels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they identified you in a way that like is probably so granular that like they can predict every single thing that you're going to do.